Hey there and happy Wednesday. Wasn't sure if I'd get here to be with you guys. I spent a lot of the day working with my husband and his medical condition. And actually is taken by ambulance again tonight, and I don't say that lightly, but yet it wasn't totally emergent. They just don't like how long of a drive it is for us. For me to drive him all the way there. And so as I bid him farewell, then it just kind of gives me time to rest up because some days it does get kind of tiring. And so I came home tonight after that, and my son had made a nice supper, and I was going to go out with a friend and was really looking forward to that. But the next best thing was to see some really good supper laid out, made with love. And so after that, I thought, you know what, I am going to put together that card for you guys tonight, even though it's a little bit later, and it'll kind of help me get my mind off of things and feel like I have something to offer for you guys too. So that is kind of what's happening today. So yeah, just kind of low-grade fevers for him for the last couple days, and just kind of looking a little bit paler and just generally not feeling as well. And he's usually his own best indicator for that. So that's where we are at. Hi there, Tori and Lisa and Lois. It's good to have some of you guys on. I know I'm going to be really sporadic, and like I said, I wasn't even sure if I'd be able to be on today. So I'm glad to kind of feel like I did one thing today, kind of checked it off my list, because some days those lists just stay there and nothing gets going. So I think I am on my iPad, so I'll put that down and show you the card. So like I said yesterday, I had that group of friends that put together a quick party on free shipping day. And so I want to thank them with a cute little pack of cards like I send out to everyone. Thanks so much, Tori. And so I want to show you what I'm making for them, because that way you can feel like you're not missing out on a thing, even though the party's already happened, the party's already closed. So I'm not actually even going to be showing any host code with these 3 cards. It's kind of like a bonus demo for everyone watching. So here is today's card. So I know some of the people in this group loved the turtle punch and the stamp set and such. And so I also knew that Stampin' Up! Every catalog comes out with some kind of jungle themed paper. And this really isn't jungle themed as the true paper pack goes, but I thought, oh, let's do something with some greenery and the fun little turtle. And some of them in that group also love to color, like love to color. So I thought, let's bring in some of the blends with that idea too. So kind of like pulling all sorts of thoughts together and keeping that group of crafters in mind as well. So let me get my camera turned around for you guys, and then you can see the card a little bit better in person up front. So here we have that. Let me get my light on it. So it says, it's time to celebrate. How cute is that? And the turtle itself is just so cute on its own too. Hi there, Carla. So with that, so I'm going to show you where things are found, the paper and everything in the catalog. So from the annual catalog, we have, and I've used this not too long ago, the Turtle Friend bundle with the punch, and that is on page from the annual catalog here, this cover. I always like to include the cover because sometimes people will send me an order like, hey, I want to order this. I'm like, that's the retired catalog. No. Okay, it's on page 56 here. So the Turtle Friends, and just cute ideas already on there. Thank you, Carla. And thanks, Tori. Yeah, so many people have loved it that I hope I don't kind of like overdo using it, because I feel like I could pull this out for so many different occasions, just because even on here, like you can use it for regular birthdays, belated birthdays, babies, like hello, little ones, just a friendship card. And it's time to celebrate. Like you could use that for lots of different things too. I even was thinking my middle son just graduated this spring with his master's, and his turtle was always his theme through life. And so I'm like, oh, this could actually make a fun card if we ever get time to celebrate that accomplishment, because it's a pretty big deal. So I'm kind of keeping this in mind. Like if I make up cards for that group of people, I might have to set one aside to make sure I don't send that out to anyone and save it for him. He'll be surprised because he doesn't watch my videos. That one doesn't watch my videos. Okay, and then let me flip to the designer series paper sales. So if you've printed out the flyer of the 9 papers that are 15% off this month, the Bloom Where You Are Planted is up there. And I always feel like these look like they copied out really light. And so to follow where that comes from in the annual catalog, it's kind of displayed on pages 80 and 81. It's a whole suite of products. And at first I knew I wanted the paper right away. And did I need the stamps and the dies? Well, after I see the paper and how the dies can cut out the fun different plants and such on there, I'm like, oh, and I've seen so many cute cards with the plants and things too. I'm like, okay, so that doesn't help me either in my dilemma of do I get it or not? And I also want to show you this paper up front because it is so cool. So these are the ones that like I want to get the dies for so that I can cut them out. So that's one side. And then this side kind of just like a slatted look here of just like a paneling with some hardwood to that. So that's kind of fun. And then these are just little various pots and such, which would be so fun to cut out or die cut and then have the plants from the stamp set going with that. And then just kind of fun fern greenery on the back side. And then these are obviously plants too that can be die cut to put in the pots there. And you could fussy cut them, but the dies always make things a lot easier. And then this is just kind of a hardwood grain background, which is nice. Now this is one I thought that would have worked well with the card. I'll compare it to what I'm actually using. So I'm using this one because it looked a little bit more jungly for the turtle. Not that turtles have to go with the jungle, but this one also would have made a good option too. But then sometimes it comes down to the back side of this or this, and I thought, oh, this fun cinnamon cider colored brick wall. I love this. I love this too, but I thought, you know what, I could see doing more with that. So I kind of wanted to save that background. So that's why I went with this one today. And I did like the more leafy greenery look too. And now this one is, this packet, I should tell you too, is 12 by 12. So I think cutting this in and just putting a sentiment across for a quick and easy card front would be really a nice option. And then for my scrapbookers, this would make a great scrapbook layout too with that pretty paper. And the back side of this is just really muted, just kind of like a marbled, like gray. Like if you dropped a piece of 12 by 12 white onto your driveway and quick try to pick it up on a rainy day, this is maybe what it would look like. So that is that pack of Bloom Where You're Planted, 15% off through August 3rd. So yeah, and then, like I said too, you can always buy the turtle punch and the turtle stamp separate, but these two go together really, really well that way too. And I'm going to put that paper aside and bring out the actual colors that I'm working with today. So with this, I could have brought in some Evening Evergreen or just jade, but I used just jade yesterday, and yes, it was a green card, and I kind of didn't want to make all the cards green. But today I'm going with the card base of Garden Green, and I think that does a good job of making these colors kind of pop. And then there's some gray here, so I looked on the packaging of the Designer Series paper, and they say it is gray granite. So I'm just going to kind of bring in a pop of gray granite and then stamp and punch out the turtle on basic white here. So let me, let's see. Let me start by doing some cutting and embossing. I think that's where I'll start. And so I'm bringing out my little mini machine. Maybe on the camera it doesn't look, you know, it's probably hard to get to the details of the size and everything. But yeah, this die fits on it, and so does the embossing folder that I'm going to use. And so I kind of want to show you how things like that can be used with the mini. So I'm going to be using the die from Tasteful Labels dies. So just a quick overview. Whoops, kind of these little framed, little and big frames. So I'm using this one from the Tasteful Labels dies. And then the embossing folder that I'm going to use is actually like a 2-pack, and that is the Greenery embossing folders. So this just has this greenery design on it. And I've used this too on several cards, often like this way with the sentiment running that way. So yeah, this can, I'm going to actually get it closer so you can see it. Otherwise, I feel like farther away, it almost makes your eyes more giddy. So these are kind of those narrower 2-packs, and those also fit in the machine. So I wanted to show you that as well. Thank you so much, Lois. And like my stampers, I always feel so covered with all of you guys with prayers and thoughts and comfort. I'm in the ER and I see my stamping friend, Deb, there. And so I got to chat with her. So I feel like you guys are everywhere. And, you know, even driving down the road, sometimes I'll pass one of your houses and you guys don't even know it. And I just think, okay, I know that you guys are thinking of us, and that makes me feel really good. It's a good support system we have. So I'm just going to line this up in my mini cut and emboss machine. And like I said, for being kind of a bigger die, it still fits through there great. So I'm used to always holding my machine this way, if you see my videos, and having them kind of go back and forth. But I don't know, they say that the machine works better if you put dies in. Maybe let me adjust my camera just a little bit here. And then kind of either cut and emboss away from you or towards you. That seems to work the best. I don't know why it would make that much difference, but I'm like, hey, I'm all about good results. So then for this, I'm just changing out the cutting pads, the 2 cutting pads, and then I'm switching it. I'm leaving in plate number 1. There's my 1, and I'm just going to pull out plate number 3. So I've cut out this design with that, and I have this, and this I want to emboss. Whoops. I had played around with doing some stamping on it, but then I kind of felt like it kind of took away from some of the fun embossed edging and such on there too. So then I have to think, okay, what's gonna pop up, because I want it to pop up on my card. So I have to think of which way I want it to go in. There we go. This is the way I want it to go. Actually, I'm going to try and put it in this way so that it fits my card the way I want it to. So I'll lay that in there with shim number 3, or sandwich it that way, and just roll it through like that quick. So yeah, I love the ease of this machine. It just glides through so quick. I love that it hardly takes up any room at all on my countertop or desktop here. And we have these fun little leaves going through there too. So it does a great job. And I know a lot of you have asked about it, and I feel like I always have my other ones sitting here, but so is my mini. It's so mini, it just sits there and I hardly even see it. Okay, so before I do more with my my assembly, I'm going to get out my basic Memento black ink pad here, and I'm going to stamp out my turtle, but you can see it is a photopolymer stamp set. So I want to get my basic white cardstock on my stamping mat to give it some nice foam pressure. So I'll just stamp that guy out like so. And then with basic black ink too, I'm going to just stamp out that cute little sentiment that fits right in the shape of the shell that says it's time to celebrate. So how cute is that? Hi, Connie. Hi, Angie. Good to see you guys on here. And then my punch, I just had it because I just showed it to you guys, right? Oh, here it is. I set it on top of my stamp set and off camera. Yeah, I kind of need that punch for this. So I'm going to line this up like so. Make sure all the legs are lined up, the neck, the tail, everything, and punch that out. And then I'm going to grab my glasses quick. And like I said, the group that will be getting these cards, most of them love, love, love to color. So I'm going to start with these cute little toes, or whatever you want to call them. Like, I feel like I'm painting toenails on the cute little turtle when I do that. And then I'm going to, so I just did that with some gray, and then I'm going to go around the turtle's neck kind of wide, and then go closer to the outline. And this color is just jade, so there again, pulling that suggestion from the back of the designer series paper where it lists the different colors. And so I always love that resource, because then I don't have to guess if it's going to clash or not. I'm assuming it's going to match perfect. And honestly, looking back, like, I've been a demonstrator for 25 years, but I stamped well before that too. That was one of the things that sold me. Like, I am not naturally crafty. And so the thing that sold me on Stampin' Up! Was the whole ability to have things coordinated for me, taking the guesswork out, taking the fear of ugliness out of my projects, because I knew that when it tells me, you know, what's all going to match, it's all going to be okay. So kind of got a little bit out of the line. I tried to fix it, probably made it look worse. Okay, so that was the dark just jade. So that's kind of where I put it on the turtle there. And then I'm just going to actually go with the bullet tip. I feel like I have more control when I use the bullet tip. It's kind of personal preference, but that's also why I really like that these are dual tipped markers too, so that sometimes I have projects where I like the brush tip, and other people say, oh, I never use my bullet tip, I always use my brush tip. So for those of you that don't like to color, this is one of those projects that's really nice and easy, because you can just kind of go over it really quick and easy. I'm just going to make sure I'm filling in the sides here. And then as far as the main part of it, I'm just, you know, I did a quick overview, and you can see I kind of left some light spots on there on purpose, and then the color itself is lighter and the dark is around the edges, but just leaving some of that. I'm trying to see if I can get it closer. You can see where I didn't 100% fill all of that in while coloring, and I think that will give it some nice dimension too. So now we can just kind of do our assembly here. So like I said, this is gray granite. That's a color that they said would kind of blend in with this. I also thought maybe basic gray would be nice too. That's the difference between gray granite and basic gray. And sometimes I almost feel like that leaf looks more like basic gray. So that's something that you can play around with too. And you guys know me, I love to give you guys options too of, hey, this might go, because sometimes that's suggested, but it doesn't mean that other things are wrong if you put it on there too. So I'm just gonna get some adhesive on the back of this bloom where you're planted. So this is 5.5 by 4.25, folded that long way today. And then for this one, I'm just going to pop that up. I'm going to kind of do a double pop up. So some dimensionals here in the 4 corners, like so. And that's going to go on my card. And then I'll have that kind of framing the turtle, and I do want to pop up the turtle as well. And so I'm just going to add a couple more dimensionals there. The dimensional fits perfectly right in the turtle head. And let's see, and I'm also, when I use my turtle, I pull in my mini dimensionals, teeny tiny little things, and these are perfect for the turtle legs, just because the big ones don't fit. You don't have to cut them in half or anything. And so you can see the difference between the big size and the minis there on the leg. So I'm just going to put that on there. And you can see how the turtle's pedicure matches that background paper with that too. Hi there, Sue. Good to see you on here. And now for my accessories, I wanted to accessorize this with some ribbon on the side here. I'll show you which 3 didn't make the cut. So I pulled out the 3 colors. This is just jade, and that is the color of some of the leaves, but I felt like because of the color that I went with, which was just jade on here, it just didn't, it is just jade, isn't it? Yeah. It just didn't seem like the color of the ribbon. Now I'm guessing, oh, this does say just jade and gold. It just seemed like it was too clashy to go with the cards. So this one didn't make the cut, even though I like the ribbon. And then this is Evening Evergreen, which is really pretty too. This one I really seriously considered using, because that seemed to go really well too. And then the other one that I got out too was my evening evergreen, that open weave, which is really nice. So that would actually be a nice one too. But what I wanted to do was kind of pull in a little bit more of a natural tone with the jungle theme paper from Bloom Where You Planted. So this is the Baker's Twine ribbon pack, or Baker's Twine pack, combo pack that's in the annual catalog too. So thanks, Lisa. I know I love this. And so this is gray granite, which matches my cardstock. And actually, just about any of these would fit to put on this card too, because I think it's the natural look and it kind of looks like the card came right out from nature. So I'm just going to wrap the gray granite color around my card a couple times here. And yesterday I got all fancy with a bow for you guys, so I won't do that at least for another year. So today I'm just going with a quick and easy knot there with, like I said, wrapping it around a couple times and then grabbing my scissor to cut off the extra there. And then for my embellishment, I haven't used these yet, but I thought this would be a fun addition, is the Silver and Clear Epoxy Essentials. And so they're silver and they're clear. And so these can be like little teardrops or raindrops. And I just kind of like these little silver round pieces, just like they are. So I'm just going to put one on each side of the turtle. So one on the lower and whoops, one on the upper, like so. So just adding just a little bit of bling, and I do like how that Baker's Twine kind of fit in, and I felt like it made everything connect that way too. Hi Jean, hi Lois, hi Pam. And then for the inside, it's time to celebrate. I'm like, okay, we could put different things in there, but what I wanted to do, let me grab some scratch paper here. And this stamp is in that same stamp set. So let me open up my Garden Green, which is the same color as my card base here. I'm going to open up my Garden Green ink pad and grab a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white. And I'm just going to put like these, whoops, these little kind of streamers. So that way it kind of fits in with the theme of it's time to celebrate. So we have some party streamers going there. And then you are turtly loved. How's that? Because that way you can put happy birthday if that's what you're celebrating, or if it's some kind of milestone or life stone thing, that will still fit with that. So we have the streamers and you are turtly loved. You could put the streamers coming down from the top or whatever. I don't know. I always kind of like filling in that bottom corner. But there again, if you want to do something different with your project, you sure can. I'm just here for inspiration and you are there on your end to do the creation. Okay. So there we have that. Hi, Rachel. And there's today's card. So we have that turtle on the front and that in the inside. So there you have it. Let me get my camera turned around. Okay. Okay, I thought I'd lost battery or turned around. I had my glasses on too, so I must have tapped something I didn't realize. So that is card number 2 out of my little 3-pack that I'm going to try and squeeze in this week. We'll see kind of how that ends up looking in my schedule and such, though. Yes, we are all going to celebrate when Dwayne is finally well again. Even if it's months down the road, we still have reason to celebrate every day till we get to that 100% too. So thanks for joining in. And like I said, this 3-pack that I'm working on is for that group of friends, and I'm just wanting to share some extra ideas with you guys too, since I'm making the cards and sending them out. So I will see you guys next time, and thanks for joining in. Bye-bye.